Okay, so I was just going to say welcome everybody to the Mystic Business. I keep doing that. The Mystic Business. I'm super excited to have you here. Um, and Karen and Osho, we're missing you. Hope you feel better, Karen, and catch up on this recording. And Osho, yeah, Osho's got the biggest challenge because he's in India. So his time is 11 and a half hours ahead of me. So it's 10 at night there. I wouldn't be jumping on a call at 10 at night. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to be sharing my screen because I sent you guys the module, or the module is in there. Teresa, did you get into the Teachable? Okay, good,
Yes.
perfect. Okay, that's always, I need to know that. The module is in there too, as well as some templates here, like these. There was some pre-work journal prompts to get you guys thinking. If you got to it, fine. If you didn't, don't worry about it. But these ones are here for after today. So you'll be able to summarize your thoughts on these two sheets. Okay. So those, and they're in the Teachable account. So let me share my screen and get this going. This is definitely a little bit maybe longer because there's a lot in this module to begin with. So we'll go to the beginning and I want to show slideshow. There we go. All right. Can you guys see this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at any point, jump in with your questions or say, I've got a question. This is the energetic foundation for a thriving business, but this is the beginning of figuring out what business you want to create. So if you don't know, if you're kind of like, I know I'm here, but I don't know why, this is awesome. This is the beginning for you. If you have a business already, then this will help you just hone it and refine your vision and your intentions of it. So I kind of have an idea of where most of you are at. Teresa, do you have a business at this point?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, I do.
Oh, what do you do?
Uh, I'm an artist and I've got a Shopify site, but but it's more complicated than that. But for now, we'll just say that.
Okay. Yeah, this will help you refine how you say it.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, and
Perfect.
also kind of the direction I'm heading. So I think that's why Carrie was recommending this for me.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. All right.
You bet.
Okay, so this is the framework we're going to be using today, and I'm going to kind of go through each section with you to explain it. But I like to start here because it's almost like that eagle eye perspective of your business. So this beautiful spheres here, very much like the beginnings of the flower of life or the seed of life. You have three circles. One is your higher power, your connection to your higher power, your soul. The other is your passion, right? Your connection to your heart. And then the third one is, well, how you bring that into the world. Like how are you doing good in the world? And they cross over each other. In the very center is your essence, your beauty, your magic. This is what you bring in when you are living in alignment with all of this. You are unstoppable in that essence. Your higher power and your passion plan overlap, and that's your creative flow. That's what's coming through. When you are connected to your soul, your passions become clear to you. What is it that I love? What is it that I want to, my gifts that I want to bring? So that could be like your art, your nurturance, your caring, right? This is the creative flow that comes through you. The do good and the higher power overlap, and this is how you are serving in the world. And we feel more empowered when we know that we are making a difference because consciousness is rising. This is not something that we looked at 30, 40 years ago in regular traditional business. It was just like, okay, what's the business I want to do and how am I going to make money? Right. But for you now, because our consciousness is rising and we're moving into a 5D business, it's like, no, how are we making this world a better place? Because that's part of my piece of puzzle, right? And then, of course, do good and passion plan come together to make money. I mean, you need to make money or you're not going to be doing it for very long, right? So starting with the higher power, it's your deepest foundation. It's your co-creating force with the universe. It's your deepest values and beliefs. Getting clear about who you are and what you want and how you'll be supported by the universal forces, universal powers. So this is that clear understanding that yes, there is more to this world than what we see. Yes, I am guided by a higher power. And we're going to talk about how to get clear on what that looks like for you, because I always thought I knew until I had to sit down and write it. So the passion plan, this is how you lead, how you will bring this forward. This is your business. This is your craft, your gifts, your talents. This is your movement, and this is what will sustain you in the world. Just to be clear on that. So that passion is in your heart. And a lot of people are like, I don't know what I want to do. It's like, that's okay. It's going to get clear for you because the more we open our heart and allow those walls to come down, the clearer we will get as to what that passion is. And then the do good, who you're going to serve, right? Who your ideal clients are, who are waiting for you. This is where you help create the positive change in the world. And for some of you, maybe it's children, right? Those are the ones that you want to help. Maybe it's like for me, it's women. I am very connected with women and helping them come into their soulful alignment. It's also how you will make your money, right? Okay. So there's that energetic blueprint that we are going to build up. When we look at all of this, I don't know if you guys got to watch the 3-part masterclass that I sent out, but when I did my first business, when I started my first business in my 20s, I didn't have any space for soul in it. I had everything else, but there was no soul, no direct connection to my higher power. I was trying to do it all my own, all on my own. And I was like blazing through going, I got this, I'm going to do this. And I was so determined, but there was no space for a higher power to come through in my soul. And it failed in bankruptcy. But I learned a lot for it. Okay, so I wanted to include this because as your business grows and moves forward, you continually need to come back to this and reevaluate. So we don't just evaluate in the beginning and go, where am I? It's every level that your business grows to, you're going to come back and go, okay, I feel like I feel like I'm stagnant or it's not growing, or I'm on the verge of a really big change and I don't know how to handle it. And I'm going to sabotage myself if I don't get clear. So awareness and stepping up is the very beginning. Being fully aware within your business as you continue to move forward. If you can't see what needs to change, then like you can't change it, right? The good news is because you're here, you're already doing that. You're already awakened to it. Assessing, taking an honest look at where you are now, making peace with it. If there's anything wrong, if like for me, it was really hard to step back into business again after a bankruptcy failure. Like it was 30 years ago, but it took me a lot of work of clearing that out in order to step back in and create a solid, energetically solid business. So making peace and not getting into the traps of denial and self-judgment and all that. Forgiveness, of course, that's a daily practice. Forgiving yourself and others. But the biggest one, I think, is forgiving yourself for the situations that have led you to any limiting beliefs and behaviors. You're not at the mercy of circumstances around you. You want to be designing your life through clear intention and being compassionate with yourself and others. So forgiveness forefront, right? And then getting clear. So visioning into your future. You get to be the designer of your life. So you get to say, okay, what's it going to look like? Get super clear. What's my business going to look like? How's it going to feel? How are the people going to feel when they come through into my business, right? Consciously creating your life every step of the way and getting clear in your path and building your belief. Keep coming back to this. Keep coming back. And that's good to have, business meetings, gather even friends together that are women entrepreneurs or business entrepreneurs. Doesn't have to be women, sorry. Every few months and go, let's do this. Like we all have our own unique business, but let's vision. Let's talk about where we are and where we're going. So powerful. Aligned right action is breathing life into your new decisions as you take courageous steps forward and move forward, and then celebrating along the way. Okay. So celebrating your efforts, pay attention to your progress. And that's where every couple of months having a business meeting to say, okay, what worked? Even if it's like, I haven't made a sale in 3 months. It's like, okay, but what did work? What did you create? Because you never know. There are so many programs that I created. Well, not so many, but I do have programs I created that nobody joined. However, those programs, pieces of them went into other ones. Like there was always a purpose that came forward that was revealed to me later, right? So celebrating is super important to be seeing your progress. And I took me a long time to do that. So these just are guidance steps for you. And let me know if I'm going too fast here. I am kind of moving along because there's a fair bit here, and there will be, you'll want to work through this on your own through the week. So the first part is working on your higher power statement. Your essence is the substance of your being. You need to give yourself permission to be clear about who that is. So I have a list of questions here on how to get clear about what do you believe? Like, what is your higher power? Like, what does it mean for you? Describe what soul means to you, right? Is your higher power and your soul the same thing? Is there a force bigger than you that you can tap into? Is it outside of you or is it within you? What does it look like in your life? What's it capable of? How do you connect with this force? Is it energy? Is it love? Is it God? Give it a name that works for you. What's the language around this belief for you? That's important because when we get comfortable with that, then we can really talk about it and expand on it. Define it for you. So these questions, now you don't have to answer every single one, but answer the ones that stand out for you. And this is what I mean, like you'll want to maybe come back to this because it's big. I always thought, yes, there's a creator, there's a higher power. I didn't necessarily use the word God just because I had negative experiences in churches, and God was a kind of linked to churches for me and religions. But I used creator and I used universe, cosmic power, universal power. Those words worked for me, but for some of us, it is God. That is the word, and that is their connection. And that's okay. We all use the language that works for us. So I hadn't really sat down and got clear on it. And then when I took my training back in 2019 with Gabby Bernstein, my second level training with her, um, she had us do this. This is part of the assignment we were working on when we were with her. And um, it surprised me how much more clarity I got when I worked through this. And then after you go through some of these questions, you're going to go through and circle the words and statements that you've used, and maybe you've used them more than once. Okay. And then you're going to write your higher power statement. So, taking all your thoughts, write them in a summary of what your higher power looks like for you and how it works in the world. And I was like, I don't understand what this is. It's like, took me a while. And that's why I included mine here to help guide you a little bit. So I believe there's an infinite force within us and around us. I believe there's a bigger pool of this. Let me just move this, of this life force. Energy available to us at any moment. This is the divine essence of all life forms. It is pure love and potential and is the energy that begins all manifestations in this world. It is a non-judgmental intelligence and always supports the light. We are able to align with this power, and when we trust and surrender to co-create with this force, we are able to create a life that is guided, inspired, and beyond our own imagination. This is a loving, supportive presence we can lean into instead of trying to do it all alone. That is what I came up with for my my higher power statement. So if somebody says, well, who do you think God is? This is what I would say. What do you mean by universe? This is what I would say. It's this life force energy that is of pure love and higher intentions. And it is helping us all rise up into our highest and best potential in love. It's helping the world evolve. So this is my belief. So you write yours and get super clear on your higher power statement. Okay. Questions around that? Okay. So the next part you want to look at once you go, okay, I'm super clear on my higher power. Now, who am I? List the qualities that are important to you and express who you are. So, your true essence, let me pop to my page here, um, are the qualities, meaning like at the center of everything that you do. And this is where it helps too if you go to somebody else. Go to your family and go, what do you see are the qualities in me? What do you see? And I did this and I went to my students and I was really surprised at what they said, actually, because I didn't see myself necessarily that way all the time. And they're like, you're really kind. You're really um you're really nice. They said you're caring. You're creative, right? And some other ones were like, I can be very passionate about what I'm doing. I know I'm strong. I've been through a lot. There's a lot I've been through that, yeah, I'm strong, right? And I am truthful and honest. That's important to me. Courageous, compassionate, right? Creative. What are words that would really describe your essence? and just write as many as you can think of. And if you get stuck, then ask somebody. I got to write these qualities out about who I am. What do you what should I put? What would you see? Right? Supportive. You have a you're a great listener, maybe a great speaker. Maybe you're good at like really, being able to see things clearly. Um, so just spend some time figuring this out. And then what do you value? What are the values most important to you? Now, I've kind of made this a little easier. So it's brainstorm, then narrow it down to your top three. This is something that I learned through all my business training. They're always like, narrow it down to your values. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you my top three values for business. And then I'm going to tell you my top three values for my life, because I think that they can be a little bit different and we can get caught up in, but that's what I want to put there, but that's not helping me in my business. So maybe make a list on the other side of three values, top values for your life. Make this the left side, top three values for your business. And that will help you a little bit more. So like I found my top three values for my business is freedom. Like I need freedom. And that could be for both sides in my life, but I need freedom, autonomy. Like I do not want to be told what to do by a boss. I just need the freedom to create my way. And that's me. And if you know anything about human design, that I have discovered, it's like, yeah, this is what I need. And I've come to peace with that. It's like I need that freedom. I need to be able to be creative in my business. That has to be there. And I value money. Money is important in my business because I want it to grow and I want to expand. I want to reach more and more people. I need it to do that. In my life, my family, right? And I will say freedom is there too, but my family, the love and connections, like none of this business matters if I don't have my family around me, right? When you lose family, when somebody gets sick, it's like everything drops and you're there. Like, sorry, it's got to be that way, right? Family's important. Peace and being at ease is super important in my life. And then joy, laughter and adventures, like those things are important. So really think about what you value, because especially when we narrow it into our business side, like that's the side we're going to focus on, but it helps us feel better when we go, but I do have values for my life. These are them. But these are the values for my business and life, my business life. When you know the values that you hold dear, if what you're doing in your business isn't aligned with your values, it's not going to work, right? Because your values are attached to your heart frequency. And that is then aligned with your soul. So super, super clear there. The values of what you create need to be in alignment with that. And that's why I find like this past year, I had received some very awesome one-on-one coaching for my business with Whitney, which was amazing in the past year. And then I got to work with her marketing person too. And she, really encouraged me to get ClickFunnels. And I resisted ClickFunnels. It's a system of marketing, and I resisted that for so long. And I finally said, Janice, you need to try new and different things. Be open to other people's suggestions. So I did it, and I tried it, and it worked a little bit, but I just canceled it last month because I was like, this is not sitting with me. This is not how I want to market my business. I don't want it to be salesy. I just want to share with people, and the sharing, yeah, I do it in my way. Right. So aligning with my values, right?
Mhm.
So important. Okay. Now, the next step, after you get clear with that, this is all going to come together in the end, but the next step is, what's your story? What are the challenges that you've overcome in life, right? We've all had that underworld journey. What has been yours? How did it define who you are today, right? Write down descriptive words of how it felt to go through your experience and what qualities you used to overcome the struggle. Because your story is a really good key to unlocking what you could be giving, how you could be serving in the world. So I was a child of an alcoholic. There was a lot of emotional abandonment and abuse. I went through that bankruptcy. It's giving me clarity though. It's giving me clear understanding of the energetics. I was always a spiritual seeker right from the get-go, right from as far back as I can remember. Like 5 years old, I was asking questions about where did we come from? Why are we here? No one can answer me, right? So I know along with my creativity and what I've learned through my journey has all come together into Soulfully Aligned Women. What's the ache or frustration? Oh no. So what do people receive for being in your presence? Why do people love being around you? What do your friends say? I have heard my entire life, oh, you calm me down. Your calming presence, right? Do they feel uplifted, positive? Do they laugh? Find out. What is the ache or frustration people are feeling when they come to see you as a friend or professionally? Do you enlighten them? What lights you up? What do you do that you can't stop doing yourself? Or you stop yourself from doing? In other words, what would you do even if you didn't get paid for it? Yeah, I would paint. I would continue my spiritual work and growth. I would continue writing. I would continue channeling. Like, I can't stop. And there's been so many points in this business where I've gone, what am I doing? Why am I putting so much of myself into this? And then I sit down and go, why are you going to stop? No, I can't. It's just this like impulse, this drive within me. I can't stop no matter what. Okay. Next part is, what are 3 things where you lost track of time when doing them? Uh, yeah. What did you say, Jill?
I said art.
Yes,
When I'm
right?
painting.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
creative flow. It's
Yeah.
that is that pure, that's a sweet spot,
Mhm.
that creative flow. Now that creative flow comes through differently for everyone. But yeah, I think most of us here is like painting. I love when I write. When I'm in my, deep thought, spiritual growth, self-actualization, writing, reading, like any of that. Don't disturb me. I might snap at you. It's like, no, leave me alone. I'm in a thought here. Don't interrupt me, right? But for some people, it might be like hiking in the mountains or landscaping, right? Baking, whatever it is. What do you do? This doesn't necessarily have to be your business. And what I found is art is part of my business, but it's not the main focus. Everyone kept telling me, you need to be teaching art, you need to be teaching painting. It's like, I think I could do very well at that, but it's not the sweet spot for me. The sweet spot is that spiritual alignment part. And so, but I need it all. I need the painting in there too, right?
So I have a question,
Mhm.
real quick. So like with my business, I've loved my business and I've met a lot of beautiful people. But I feel like I'm moving out of it. And what I want to do is do more healing. But people in my community know me more as, I own a hair salon and I'm a hairstylist, and I've been doing it here for 42 or 43 years. And so transitioning that into more healing arts.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, in my mind, figure that out.
Well, exactly. But I bet you've been healing people the entire time you've been a hairstylist, because your energy is what has been impacting people. So when you give yourself permission to transition, because you are growing and evolving into the bigger part of you, you're very good at hairstyling and with people, right? Connecting to people. And there's a part of you that's worried about what are they going to say, right? Yeah. But when you give yourself permission for it and say, this is who I'm growing into, I'm evolving. I'm not just leaving the hairstyling behind. I'm evolving here and growing. Then they will be fine with it. And that too, that too can be something that you can continue to work with. I mean, even imagine I don't know if you have space for this in your hairstylist studio, you could have a back room where you do some energy work, so you could start to include it in.
Yeah, I set it up. I set it up prior to all of this with my hand, and I have been doing some of that. I took Reiki 1 and 2 last year, and so I just have been practicing that. I have a room set up for that.
Perfect.
And a table. So
yeah, because I bet you're already coaching people as you talk with them. So, being easy, introducing it to people, going, I also do this. You might consider booking a time with me, and just keep introducing it. It might take a while for people to start to flow in, but eventually it'll be you're the Mystic hairstylist.
There you go.
The Mystic Salon.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. But it's really about you giving yourself permission to do the change, to be that person, allowing that part of you out. You're kind of hiding her in the closet right now. Let her out and just, this is who I am, right? And it's just and sometimes it can be very hard. It's not the sweet spot though when we're doing, like when I was teaching in the classroom, I was really good at it. I was really good at it. I could deliver and connect with those kids, but it's not my sweet spot. It's something I'm really good at, but now I'm recognizing there's more of me that I need to let out. And so I transitioned, like back in 2017. I went, okay, I'm going to be a part-time teacher and I'm going to write a book, and then from the book came the business, right? So you got this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That's a big one. Transitioning to something new is big. And we criticize ourselves, we judge ourselves because we think other people will. Yeah. Okay, moving into your vision. So we're going to create a mission and vision statements too. Now, know that these can change. They're not set in stone. So you can create a vision and statement and a mission statement right now, even if you don't have a business. Create one for your life. And as you get clear, it's like, sometimes these things just evolve and happen, but a business will come if that's in your heart. Your highest vision for your life will reflect what you value. So as you think about yourself in the highest potential already there, what does this look like? How would your life influence others around you? So begin it as I and your name am creating, living, whatever, And I have changed mine a bit from there. I, Janice, am a wealthy woman living a life aligned with my awakened heart and soul. I am consciously creating a life filled with creative flow and am walking my path of becoming fully embodied with the teachings I am learning. I am remembering each day to walk softly with sacred reverence and anticipation of the potentialities of the universe. So living in my more expanded. So see how it was, and I just changed it a little bit, not a whole lot. But who are you? What is your vision for your life? Who do you want to become? Right? And that's why I put down, I am a wealthy woman. I am living this beautiful life. So put it in the current present time, right? I am living, not I want to live, I will be living. Don't do that. Put it into right now. This is who I am. This is the person I am embodying, even if I'm not there yet. This is who I'm becoming, right? It's my ultimate life. And then I know, oops, let me go back one. There we go. This is a lot, you guys, and my thoughts are this is something you'll work through the week before we meet next week. Okay. So we will meet, Teresa, we will meet next Wednesday at the same time. So Wednesdays at the same time. Okay. The vision for your business. So your business vision is reasons for your business's existence beyond making money. The primary role of a vision statement is to guide and inspire your mission and business goals. So ask questions like, why does this business exist? Where do you see it going in the future? How does your business help make the world a better place? So in other words, how does it serve? So if you're creating a business, think about why that business, right? This is staying true to your essence. So my example was I envision a world of people practicing soul-centered living. I see a world that teaches our children to practice living a life that is connected and aligned to their own soul. I believe it all begins with the women of our world, and I have a vision to reach as many women as possible to help them live from their own souls first, consciously creating a life of joy, abundance, freedom. I put empowerment in there so they can teach their children. The women are the ones who can impact the world because they have access to the children. Mm-hmm. So how could your business impact the world? And you don't have to have your business completely figured out for this. Just connect to your heart. It's like, okay, well, I want to create a change. And think about you could even think about what's going on in the world that makes you really angry. It's kind of coming in the back door, right? And the one thing I found was my just temper and everything flares up if I see a woman being controlled, being abused or controlled, especially by a man, but by anyone. It's like, it could be anyone. But when I would see a woman shrinking because she's being controlled, oh, I just want to go and pull her out and show her power. It just upsets me. I was never abused in that way, but that is passionate within me. So I knew I wanted to work with women and I wanted to help them feel their empowerment and know they can create their life, design their life. Okay, so this is just kind of an extra marketing section, and I've debated on pulling this out of this program or not. So let me know in the end if it helps you or if it confuses you, because I've just been on the fence with it. But what field is your business in can help you kind of begin to hone into the marketing end of it. So is it in relationships? Is it in health, or is it in career and money? And health would be like physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, that, right? Sometimes it crosses over, like you can see on there, they cross over each other, right? So if you're talking about spiritual health, it might cross over into relationships, right? If you're a relationship coach, it's going to cross over into health also. So it's samples of like a career money field choice. So this is like leadership executives, corporate executives, leaders of organizations, right? The life purpose clarity, career clarity, clarity and career and life purpose path, launching a business, support, choosing and finding their way, those kind of things. Sales or marketing, if you're a VA or into any of that, you're really in the money field. Small business entrepreneurs. So this part of what I'm doing right now is really kind of in the money end of things. If I'm talking about how we create a business, then it's in the money field choice, right? It's in that sphere. Does that make sense? Right. And then relationship, if you're in the sphere of relationships, this is, finding the right soulmate. How do you find that person? There's lots of relationship coaches. After dating again after divorce, expressing yourself in a relationship, marriage and couple support, parental support, like how parenting happens with kids, boundaries with other people. Spiritual mentorship is a growing field and can be very general. So it's good to focus on a specific field like spirituality and relationships, or with your money, your relationship with your money, your relationship with your creativity, that sort of thing could be in that, crossing over again into the health field. And then samples of the health field are nutrition, weight loss, right? Beauty, healing modalities, healing centers. I would say that, creating beautiful art is in this field because you're creating joy and enlightenment for people to feel good. So it's all around that emotional, psychological, spiritual, right, area. So just kind of think of that and go, okay, where does mine fit? And it's okay if it crosses over. But it's one way to, because sometimes especially as creatives, our minds are so wide open. There's so much there that it's nice to be able to find a way to kind of bring it in a little bit and bring it into a nice, neat little package, a nice, neat little sphere and go, oh, okay, I think most of mine is in the health, right? Or most of mine is in relationships. So, okay, the mission for your business. So we're worked on our vision. Now this is the mission statement. So what are you here to bring to the world? This is your passion plan. What are your unique gifts, talents, and abilities that you've been given to share? Is it deep listening, creativity, storytelling, compassionate speaking, laughter? What can you recognize and own as your unique set of offerings to this world? Your mission statement for your business states what your business will offer. So this one, I keep forgetting I need to change that, the Creation Guild. That's what I first started my business name, called the Creation Guild, because that was the name of my book. And then I had Soulfully Aligned Women also at the same time. And I found that I was moving more and more, like Soulfully Aligned Women was expanding more and taking on kind of its own energy. I'm like, oh, I need to change. It's not the Creation Guild. That's my book. But through Soulfully Aligned Women, I will stand fully in alignment with my own power to create and hold space for every woman to remember her inner wisdom and empowerment so that she can consciously create the life of her dreams. with I'm going to come back to the art part, because as you are artists, you are also, several of you are also coaching at the same time, because you're bringing that spirituality into your art. Think of it as storytelling also. What's the storytelling part of your art? What's the narrative of your art? This is something that I've been diving deeper into lately. I have an amazing creative coach mentor, and she has really been having me dig deep down into my artwork. And so, what are you creating? Why are you creating that? What is the narrative around it? What's the story? So I painted my giraffe, right, with you guys, and I took it to her, and she's looking at, she goes, this is beautiful. And she said, what's the story behind it? And so I was like, oh, okay, well, there is a story. It's not just a painting of a giraffe. It's, there's a bigger, deeper meaning there. So think about that with all your artwork and what you're bringing forward for people. Bring that story in, because they love that. It connects them even more to the art. So that can be for your part of your mission too. And then the last part here is your do good, the difference you can make. When you think of your established business, how does it serve the world? What difference does it make? What do you feel most called to change, influence, impact, create, expand, shift, or transform in the world? And how will your talents and gifts serve in the world? How will you lead? And my example is to bring my gifts and talents and abilities forward in a way that creates these sacred spaces, to use my art, my writing, my teaching skills, and my experiences to help others connect and nurture their own relationship with their inner wisdom. I will lead with creativity, inspiration, and co-creative powers of the universe. I lead by instilling hope within others and cultivating a world where we are all living as consciousness, powerful creators of our own life. For me, it's like the more people that are in alignment with their soul, they move away from like scarcity, lack, victim mentality, right? And more into love. And this creates a difference in the world. Like, this is huge. How can I lead them to their light, to the light within them? I create sacred spaces for them, sacred containers, just like this. So this is again where you can kind of come in that back door. What's upsetting you about the world, and how can you do good? How can you create spaces that will allow people to be in their alignment? Reiki, like, oh my gosh, people are becoming more and more aware of, they've got to take care of their energy and be in that strong energy in order for their bodies to be healthy and their minds healthy.
You can also put Reiki energy into your art. I do that as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, your energy is in there. And I know we know from even from Whitney, like, put your statements on your art, in your art before you even start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you in business? It helps to create two different whys for your work. The first is your small why. What do you want in your own life? What do you get out of the work? Then the second is the bigger worldly why. Because people always say, well, your why is important. You got to have a mission. You got to have like this huge, idea of creating a big, powerful shift in the world. It's like, well, I'm just a little old me here. And I just really want to create a better life for me and my family. Yeah. But when I get that, I'll have a bigger vision too, right? So I do. I want to create a life that has abundance, freedom, and fun adventures for myself and my family. That's my small why. That's my why for me. Yeah, yes, it fulfills my heart to do this. And I
Mhm.
really want to create a better life. My second why is to serve and be purposeful in our world. Because once we have all of our needs met, then it's like, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? Like, imagine having every need you could ever, like, your family has surrounded you with love. You live in a beautiful place. You have lots of money. You have lots of experiences, but you could get bored with that too because you don't feel purposeful, right?
Mhm.
So, what's the bigger purpose? In my alignment with my higher power, I know this is the best way to serve the world using my gifts and abilities. I want all women to feel empowered and free and to experience the feeling of being sovereign in their own life and using that in a positive way. I should put that in using that, like come into that divine feminine power and serve from your heart, right? Um, just a couple small ones here and then we are done. It's probably, I get worried about you guys feeling like overwhelmed going, holy man, Janice, this is a lot. But it is super important. And it is not like you can work through this a little bit at a time. And I guarantee you, this is gold. This is what's going to really help you get clear. So the core values of your business will reflect your personal values. These are the values that are most important for your business to reflect out to the world. And we did this, okay? So this is like the core values for soulfully aligned women is freedom, empowerment, creative, visionary, leading, right? Spiritual alignment. And this hope brings joy and happiness to people. So, yeah, my core values for soulfully aligned women is that others feel this freedom and empowerment too, to help others do this. And it's found through the spiritual alignment, their soul alignment. So, what are your core values that you would bring into your business? So, see how it doesn't matter what your business is. It's just you figuring out what it is, how am I serving, and what's in my heart. And this will be the center of any business that I create. I could go and create something completely different, but it would still have these core values for me. And the big goals for the people in the world, what would your contribution through your business bring to the world? So more empowered, creative people living in alignment with their heart will bring more happiness and peace in our world, one person at a time. More light equals less violence and oppression. This is how we change the world, ladies. This is how we do it. One at a time, but it ripples out. Remember, power versus force, like enlightenment, love counterbalances 750,000 people under that level of love. All right. And you're finally like sum up your primary contribution, right? Just to empower women out from oppression, to raise the consciousness of humanity. This is the way we monetize our business then. This is okay. So now how, as we move forward, to be like, okay, so now how do we do this? Right. But first we get, this is the energetic foundation. This is the core foundation. I just can't, I keep seeing, okay, we're going to build this beautiful structure. Let's make sure it's solid underneath here. And we've got a good base and a good foundation because it's going to stay forever, right? It's going to create an energy of its own presence. So, okay. That was a lot. Once you do have, like, once you work, and you can do this in whatever way you want. I'm not collecting handouts or anything. So work through in here. You can write in your module, you can brainstorm, you can use a journal. But once you get clear on it, if you want, you then can transfer it and you can download this. I think, well, you could write it right on here and print it, write it on here, or type it out on a one page, and I have mine. I don't know where I put it. Mine is not on that template. It is, I think I have it in my other binder. Oops, not there. Yeah, I did move it into my other binder, which is on my shelf over there. But I put it into a plastic sleeve, and then oops, I have it handy. Like, I keep it up on my wall. It's like, it's got my higher statement. It's got my vision for my business, my mission for my business, my purpose. It's there. So I don't forget, right? And I review it. And my business why, the core values, my big goals, and my one primary contribution. And then I can change that as my business grows. But if it's growing and I'm bringing in other people to help me with my business or grow it, I can say, this is what we focus on. This is soulfully aligned women, right? And it's here. It's right here posted. Clear. And big businesses do this, right? They create a mission and vision. However, they don't necessarily go back to that soul part, that alignment, right? This is the difference of how business is changing now, going from 3D to 5D. It's the energetics in the world. Okay. Hey, we did it. It's 10:30. I honestly thought this was going to go for an hour and a half. And I was trying to get through it quickly for you guys. How are you feeling? Tell me, to speak to me. Anybody want to go first?
When I first read through all of the business stuff, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this. I really started the doubt. Everything else in here has been wonderful. But I can't figure all this out. And then today it was like, I just started filling in little spaces as you're talking, and it didn't feel quite so overwhelming. And it also brought some things that I want to work with in my art, in the retreats I want to do, in working with the scents and the distillation stuff that I do. So it really helped me today to just not feel so overwhelmed.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Yeah, one step at a time, right? And even like just this whole module can be overwhelming for people, but if you just one section at a time and then take a break, have a tea or something, and then move on to the next section. But it really does help you keep coming back to you create a retreat, and then to go back to, well, why, Carrie, why are you doing this retreat? How's it fulfilling the mission and vision, right? And then you get super clear. And when you're super clear, people lean into you. Your energy is clear. And then they go, oh, I don't know why, but I want to go to this retreat. So, kind of like Teresa, I don't know why, but I need to be here. Right? Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Anna?
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
sorry. Do I talk?
Yes, Anna, and then Jill.
For me, it was very emotional. Everything you say was just beautiful. It made me like I wanted to cry. Just your soul is so beautiful, and all that you want to give to, I don't know, it was just amazing. Thank you. I will try to work through everything, but it was just like, wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing all these beautiful wishes for the world, and feel like, oh my God. So I still so emotional. I have to work through now for my life, but now I feel like you are an amazing woman. Thank you for sharing all this beautiful stuff. So, and
you're
thank you
so
all
welcome.
of you. I feel so like, oh my goodness, what is all this?
That's
So
because we're
beautiful.
soul sisters, girl. Like, we're the same. And you too. It's like it's resonating for you. So use my words, you guys. If you need to use any of my words in there, go for it. If it helps you like get started, do that. And because you're feeling it, Anna, because it's in your heart. It's just
It was
emerging
just
out.
beautiful. I say, oh my God, I feel like crying every time. It's just beautiful. Thank you, all of you too. It's like, oh, so beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Jill.
Well, it's you just cleared up a lot for me, so I so appreciate it. It was feeling a bit overwhelming. I was not looking forward to this portion of the creative part, the business part. I love the creative part, but the business part is really hard for me. So even though I've owned a business, but this is so different. So bringing myself into it, and I just really am grateful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And you have a business, so
Yeah,
you got a
Yeah.
foundation to start with too. That's
I
awesome.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky that way. Although during COVID, I didn't feel that way.
I bet. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. No. All right. Well, have fun with this module. Take your time, let it sit and percolate within you a little bit too, and things will become even clearer. And even if you have a business, go back and reevaluate. So this is the beginning, and not every module is quite this heavy. But there's a lot we'll go through next week. Okay. All right. You guys
Thank
have
you.
a beautiful day. Yeah. Thank you. And I will
Thank
see you.
you.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
You're welcome.